Hello watch fans, it's Anders here on Watch On channel. Today the final review of this Christopher Ward watch. One of their more interesting watches in the current collection in my opinion. It kind of stands out a little bit from a lot of the more modern dive watch collection that they are having these days. So the watch comes in this typical newer Christopher Ward box with the wooden part here and then this kind of leathery exterior. You open the box like this. The first thing you find is this, which contains a fiber cloth. Then you find this pamphlet here explaining about the watch and also containing your warranty card. And finally, of course, the watch. This is the Christopher Ward C65 Cranwell COSC certified pilot Flieger style watch. I am actually wearing another Christopher Ward watch today. This is the Christopher Ward C60 Ombre green bronze watch. A bronze diver with a very interesting green dial. I did an unboxing, first impressions, first review, initial review of this watch. If you want to see that video, click the link up in the right hand corner or down in the description. I will be coming back with the full review of this watch also. This is Christopher Ward's interpretation of a 1940s, 1950s inspired pilot's watch, Flieger watch. As we can see, it is very much a Flieger layout. The pilot layout, because you get the minute markings from 5 until 55 minutes. You see 0, 5, 10, 15, 20 and so on. Very clean, classic look. A watch that is meant to be very legible. A watch that is meant to be very precise, accurate. And that's also what we see down here. If I just remove the hour hand, you can see down here above 6 o'clock, you see automatic chronometer, Swiss made. You see Christopher Ward below 12 o'clock. We're getting a little more into the dial layout just in a few seconds. So what this means, chronometer, is that this is a chronometer certified watch. It is a regulated, tested Sellita SW 200 movement -1, which is the no date Sellita SW movement, and you get a very high accuracy. The COSC specification states between +6 and -4 seconds. You see on your screen now we get this specification, but I must say that this movement is a little bit irregular in the sense that I have been wearing this watch for a few days, completely just wearing it on my wrist and winding it like that. It becomes a little more inaccurate. If I wind the watch completely, just wind by the big pilot style crown here, it becomes more accurate. So not the most stable chronometer certified movement I have ever tried, but it does the job very well. 41 millimeter approximately, a thickness of just a little less than 12 millimeters, log width of 22, and log to log of just approximately 46.6, 46.5 millimeters. But it's modern proportions for a modern style pilot's watch. The lume is C1 Superluminova, also old radium you see with these kind of more yellowish colors, kind of aged lume as well as on the hands. It's all printed to the dial, no application, so a very simple, very legible watch as you see. We also get baton style hands and a white second hand to make seconds more legible as well. I will be getting into the hands a little later in this video because I'm not a huge big fan of these hands. You also see it's really nicely finished. It's built in 316L stainless steel. And what I really like about this watch is the quality to the finishing of the case. You see we get a lot of different finishes. Here we see the big kind of domed sapphire crystal with AR treatment. We get a nice brushing on the bezel here. Then we get a really nice polished kind of ring around the bezel as you see here. Really nice little detail. Then we get the middle part, which is brushed again. Brushed locks, but with this beautiful chamfering you see here. Also polished. Then the lower part of the case is polished as well. And the way that they apply different finishes to this case just makes it look really, really good. It gives so much play to light, so much attention to detail. You see the big signed crown here. It is not a screw down crown, it's a push-pull crown. We see the case back. This is with the Royal Air Force, the British Royal Air Force emblem. It's Swiss made. You see stainless steel, screw down case back, and 150 meters of water resistance, which is really, really good for a pilot style watch without a screw down crown. It comes on either a steel bracelet, which is priced at 1,170 euros, which is approximately $1,300 US, or on this nice kind of cafe latte colored leather strap, which is priced at 1,050 euros, which is approximately 1,200 US dollars. And you even get these easy removal spring bars here. According to Christopher Ward, this watch is supposed to be a reinterpretation of old Chesalec and IWC pilot's watches, and I think that they are missing just the part with the hands. Of course, some older pilot's watches had these kind of baton style hands, but usually you actually see sword style hands, very, very pointy sword style hands, or syringe style hands, because you really want this very, very sharp, pointy hand, both with the second, the minute, and the hour hand. And for this, I don't think these kind of more flat-ended baton style hands are the right choice. Although it's not a big problem, I would have preferred to have these more pointy, maybe sword style hands as we see on many of the German Flieger watches. The weight without the strap is 65 grams. I would say that this is maybe like 80 or 85 grams with the strap. So it's definitely not a heavy watch either. And I think it wears really nicely, which we're going to see a little later in this video. It is named the Cranwell, and it's named after the Royal Air Force Base Cranwell in Lincolnshire. If you are much more into field style watches, you can also have a look into the Sandhurst. It's a 38mm field watch from Christopher Ward. I think this is of course a pilot's watch, but with the hands I just get a little bit of a field watch kind of vibe or feeling to this watch. A thing I really like about this watch is the simplicity. I really like that Christopher Ward actually decided to just print very simply Christopher Ward below 12 o'clock. For several years they have been printing the Christopher Ward at the left side from 45 minutes here, and I think it just made the watches look a little too much like kind of fashion style watches. With this watch it's perfect with this simple printing on the dial, just like on the old Flieger pilot's watches. So everything for me works really nicely on this dial. This kind of matte black color to the dial is also the perfect for a real contrast between the dial, the hands, and the hour minute markings. So should you choose this Christopher Ward C65 Cranwell over its competition? Christopher Ward is a brand where you get a lot of value for the money. There are several reasons for this, but one of the reasons is that they don't have any physical stores, so they don't have to pay to have employees and physical stores. It's an online-based brand, and that means you can cut off some of the price. They are still Swiss-made watches designed in Great Britain with high-quality components, and as you saw, the case is really highly finished. I kind of singled out 3 competitive watches, which is big competition to this watch. My first one is the OMBRÈ Big Crown Pro Pilot, which is priced between approximately $1,300 and $1,800 US dollars, depending on if you buy it pre-owned, grey market, or in a AD store. It is a 41mm pilot style watch, more modern style than this one. It has a little bit interesting finish to the bezel, as you can see. You can get it on a bracelet or on this kind of fabric strap you see. And it is powered by the Sellita SW220-1, and it is non-COSC certified, unlike this watch. The other one is the Longines Heritage Military. This is a 38mm watch. It only has 30 meters of water resistance and no loom. That watch is priced at around 2,000 US dollars, and it is powered by the Longines L888 movement, which is non-certified. It has 72 hours of power reserve, and it beats at 25,200 revolutions per hour. So approximately $600-$800 more than this watch. And the last one I want to compare this watch to is the German C65. This is a 38.5mm watch. It is powered by the Sellita SW200 movement, and again, it's not COSC certified like this movement. It has 200 meters of water resistance, so a little more than this, and it's priced between $1,400 and $1,600 if you buy it on their website, but I saw it several places on online stores at around $1,100 US dollars. So you compare this to the competition, you pay approximately the same as you pay for an OMBRÈ, a little less than an OMBRÈ. You pay a little less than a SIN, maybe close to a SIN, but what you get is a COSC certified movement and not these kind of off the shelf from the factory Sellita movements, as you see with the two others, with the Oris and the Sin, and the modified ETA movement from Longines. So overall, I think this is a really strong competition to the bigger brands, to the more well-known brands. The problem with the Christopher Watt, in my experience, is that it has a pretty bad resale value. So if you buy this watch and you want to sell it on in a few years, then you should definitely take a hit. But that isn't kind of the reason why we are collecting watches. We want some cool watches, and as a pilot style watch in your collection, I think this is a really good choice. You get top quality Swiss components, you get a really nice case finishing, you get nice water resistance, 150 meters, great lume, and a COSC certified movement. And on my 17.5 centimeter wrist circumference, you can see this 41 millimeter watch wears perfectly. I really like the strap, it's high quality, it's very soft, simple pin buckle here with Christopher Watt, a lot of holes so you can get the right fit to your wrist size. I definitely enjoy this watch. I think it's a really cool watch. I have been wearing this watch in situations where I really needed some very accurate timekeeping just at a glance to see what time it is, and I think it works perfectly. This is definitely a watch I would consider if I wanted a pilot watch for my collection. At some point I want a modern Swiss or German pilot watch, and I will definitely consider this Christopher Watt. Again, it is very stiff competition. It is the lesser brand compared to Oris, Sin, and Longines, but you get some good value. Just be aware that you will take a hit if you sell on this watch, but overall I think it can definitely compete and even maybe beat its competition because of the finishing of the case and the COSC certified Sellita movement. So what do you think about the competition? Should we include other watches to compete with this Christopher Watt that can beat it, or is it really high value? Leave a comment down below and let me have your opinion. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, don't forget to share it on the forums on Facebook and places like that, and I will see you next time. Thank you, bye.